Good morning, everyone. I know that I've been MIA. I had a really big week this week, and I thought that I would be able to handle both my day-to-day stuff and handle all the really big stuff this week that was going on. But then I sort of had that moment where I had to continue to remind myself that Mercury, this retrograde that's happening, is in my 6th house of daily activity and health, and both of those were extremely affected during this retrograde. So I appreciate that everybody's patience with and everybody who has been reaching out to see how I'm doing. I really appreciate that. You guys don't know how much that really helped me get through this week. It was a tough week. Someday I will share with you the story of it, but we have so much to talk about. Today is not the day to talk about me and my business. I've also been getting comments, questions, messages, emails about the coronavirus that's going on. I know everybody's really scared about it. I know that readers are talking about it. I know that we're going through this really big shift in reality, right? Because it sort of feels like we're living out something of some sort of like a Hollywood film, a Hollywood fantasy that's going on right now. I do want to remind everybody that we had the Saturn and Pluto conjunction happen at the beginning of this year in January, right? And that sort of just eased up just as we were going into Mercury retrograde. It was probably a couple of weeks that we had where Saturn and Pluto, but that's still affecting us. Like, that's not something that's going to go away. Back the last time that Saturn and Pluto were conjunct in Libra in 1983, there was this huge outbreak of a virus that nobody knew what to do about. And people were dying from it right and left, right? And it turned out to be AIDS. And today there are more people that are able to live and survive for years and years and years with AIDS after 40 years of research and studying. And I mean, we have amazing advances in health. My point in saying this, I'm not sure how many people have realized the similarities as to what's happening now from what happened, 40 years ago, 37, 36 years ago, however long years ago it was. I was a toddler at the time of the last Saturn and Pluto conjunction, but we're having this huge outbreak and it's very scary. And I'm not making light of it in any way. And I'm not laughing about it. It hasn't hit me at home, but it's hit people that are very close to me. And not even affecting them directly, but it's in their surrounding area. And that's scary. It's very, very scary. But I want everybody to remember that the more fear we put into something, the more we freak out, the worse it will be. And I'm not saying to not be diligent. But you guys, the flu kills people too. And even we have a flu vaccine and that still takes people's lives, right? They don't even have anything for this virus. And the reason why we're freaking out is because it's new and nobody knows anything about it. The same thing happened with HIV and AIDS. The same thing happens with every single flu strain every single year. What's the difference? What's the difference? The hype of HIV and AIDS, do you realize the stigma that people had to go through back then? That's what people with the coronavirus, that's what people of Asian ethnicity, that's what they're going through right now. People who have never even been to China are being targeted. Like they have some kind of disease that they probably don't even live in a city that the disease is present in. Why am I getting so worked up? Because we don't need to be worked up. And the fear that's being wrapped around this, I understand why we have the fear. I understand where the fear is coming from. But you also have to understand that the more clout and anger and hurt and pain and fear and all of those negative low vibrational energies, the more we put into that stuff, the worse this is going to get and the worse this is going to be. The stigma for AIDS and HIV lasted for a very, very long time after that came out. And I would hate for that to happen to people, you know, and it happens every time we get a virus. And unfortunately, this new virus that's happened is kind of snowballing, right? So people wanted me to do a reading on the coronavirus. I'm not going to do that because I'm not going to play into the fear of it. Just be diligent, be aware, be conscious of what you're doing. If you're out in public and you're sick in some way, or you're afraid of getting sick, wear a mask. Make sure you're washing your hands. Make sure just take care of yourselves, right? Just take good care of yourselves. And if you need to like up your vitamin C intake or your B vitamins or whatever you feel like you have to do, listen to your body, go see your doctor, take care of yourselves. Honestly, you guys, the more you sit in fear, I mean, I went to the grocery store when like the whole outbreak happened in Texas, right? I'm in Kansas City, and there was, you know, the outbreak that happened, or the breach of patient something or other from the Air Force Base happened in San Antonio. There were people here in Kansas City that were like grabbing the water and bread and stuff off the shelves. Like it was the apocalypse. And I'm like, stop. Yeah, we were talking about it in my nail salon too, about how people were doing that at Costco. They were grabbing just like, you know, tons of water. And again, I understand where the fear is coming from. I really get it. But the fear, you holding on to that, that's not going to make you feel any better about anything. And you guys, the media pushes that kind of fear mongering onto us all the time. So, just, you know, I don't want you to be ignorant about it, but I just want you to be diligent. I want you to be discerning. I want you to be diligent. I want you to be smart and aware. And that's how we're going to get through this, okay? The other thing that I really want to talk about is the Virgo full moon. So we will be doing a Virgo full moon ritual. However, I'm only offering the ritual to those who are in the memberships. I'm going to do for all of the memberships. So any level membership, I'm going to send out the information today on, and the Virgo full moon is on Monday. It's not going to be on Sunday this week. It'll be on Monday. And so I'm going to offer this one ritual. This is the only time I'm offering it to all levels. And if you would like to be a part of our weekly meditations and the rituals moving further, it's the exclusive membership that you'll want to choose. But for this one only, and one of the reasons why I'm doing this is because I feel like we all sort of need to rally together right now. And Mercury Retrograde, Mercury's going to be stationed direct on Monday, later in the evening after the full moon happens with Virgo. And Mercury is Virgo's ruling planet. So, and it'll be stationed direct in Aquarius. Moving forward, it'll be in a shadow period for 2 more weeks, but Monday is the station direct, so we can all just sort of like sigh, big sigh of relief. Yay, Mercury's direct. Here's the thing though, you guys, all of these things that came up during the retrograde, there's almost with this Virgo full moon, because Virgo represents the not just the spiritual body, but the physical body as well, right? Virgo's kind of like 2 parts of the same coin when it comes to the spiritual body, because we're very intuitive, but we're also very psychic through our body. I say we because if you don't know, I am a Virgo. This Virgo full moon, with everything that's leading up to it, and I wish I had time to be able to like go through all of the things. The Leo King has done several really great videos about the Virgo full moon, and White Light Astrology. He's really good as well. So go check them out if you want to get more details. I would rather do a reading for you guys today and just kind of briefly talk about it, since I haven't been around for the last week. So, but with this Virgo full moon and Mercury stationing direct, there's this huge release. Everything that's happening in the physical world right now, because Virgos are so intuitively psychic within their bodies, this full moon and Mercury station direct is going to amplify that on the inside. Everything that is in your physical that's happening to you right now, you're also feeling it very, very deeply within. So, it can get very intense when your physical body and your spiritual body are sort of, colliding together, on top of the very heavy energy that we also have going on. So, this one is going to be about releasing, Virgo can be very hard, difficult, on themselves. And so when you are finding yourself beating yourself up during this Virgo moon transit and through the full moon, this is what we're going to be releasing. We're going to be releasing the heavy expectations that we have for ourselves. We're going to be releasing the heavy expectations that we have for other people. We're going to be releasing the heavy expectations that we have for the world, and allowing ourselves to sort of free our spiritual body from the physical prison that because like our mind, our body, our spirit, our soul, everything is being affected right now in this transit. And I've seen it, even though I haven't been like actively present, I'm still witnessing, I'm still very aware, I'm still very conscious of everything that's happening on YouTube, everything that's happening on social media. And having been able to process it, like take it all in and process it all this time, I can tell that there's a lot of things that are stewing beneath the surface with the collective conscious. And we all just need to have a really big release. So that's what the Virgo full moon ritual is going to be about. If you would like to join us for that, you can choose to be any part of the membership on Patreon, or you can click join, the button join, underneath this video. The Patreon information is in the description box below as well. So every level will have access to the ritual. And then moving forward, if you would like to do rituals or weekly meditations with us that we normally do on Sundays or whenever the full moon or new moon is, you can become an exclusive member, or it's called Everything and More on Patreon, and it's the exclusive level here on YouTube. So after that long discussion, let's see what's going on in the cards. Okay. And this is really what I was bringing up, getting up to is, I love that the Ace of Wands is the energy that came out, because there's so much opportunity in this energy and nobody's talking about that. Everybody's talking about the fear, and everybody's talking about the heaviness, and everybody's talking about the foreboding and all of the stuff that's happening in the physical world. Nobody's talking about the opportunity, and the opportunity that we have right now is to really come together. There, it's no accident that this is the shirt that I decided, my little bears, right? The unity that we have to have right now, and allowing ourselves to be open, and allowing ourselves to be honest, and allowing ourselves to say the things that we need to say and be the people that we need to be, right? So we have the Ace of Wands and then the Page of Wands. I also feel like for some of you, you're getting some really good news, like big opportunity, big changes kind of news. Ooh, okay. I like that too. Okay, let me get two more cards. Oh, there we go. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. I feel like some of you are having a conversation to, it's like almost in a way like rebuilding or starting over or starting fresh. So I have the Three of Pentacles, and then I have the King of Swords, and I have the Ten of Cups. It's almost as if, somebody's getting information today. The Page of Wands is like the messenger, right? The Page of Wands is like the information or the messenger. And the Ace of Wands is the opportunity. So, and this is an opportunity to rebuild your foundation in some way, to start new, to start fresh with the Three of Pentacles. And it's leading you, because I feel like you're being smart about the Ten of Cups. It's like, I know what it is that I want in my life. I know the kind of happiness that I want in my life with that Ten of Cups, right? But you're not doing it in the illusion. Like, you're not, there's no illusion around this. There's absolutely no illusion around this. Because sometimes the Ten of Cups comes out like, I want to, like, that's what I want my future to look like. But it's not based off of reality. And with the Three of Pentacles, it's a foundation that's steady and it's based off of reality. And the King of Swords, this means that you're being very discerning about it. Maybe even a little tunnel visioned, like, this is my focus. This is what I have to do. Here we go. Let's see what the Ace of Wands is. For some of you, this is a new business venture or a new business idea or a way to build your business. Let's see what the Page of Wands is. Okay. Interesting. All right. So the Eight of Pentacles on the Ace of Wands. This is definitely a rebuilding. This is, but you feel like you're actually, you feel like you're taking the steps needed in the right way. Like, it's almost as if with this Eight of Pentacles, it's like, yes, I'm seeing this opportunity now, and I'm not going to skip the steps. Like, I'm not going to try and make it happen faster, and I'm not going to try and make it happen in a different kind of way. You're going to do it the way that you know it's going to work out. Now, here's the thing, though. So the Eight of Swords with the Page of Swords on the Page of Wands. Did you have a conversation with someone or you're scared to have a conversation with someone? I think there's a fear here. That Eight of Swords is an irrational fear. The Eight of Swords is being afraid of something that doesn't, it's like making the story up in your mind and being afraid of it, and it doesn't even exist, like the fear of it. So there's some kind of conversation with the Page of Wands and the Page of Swords here, right? And maybe the conversation was already had, and that was the opportunity. And you realize that it's a good opportunity and everything is moving forward the way that it's supposed to and everything's going the way that it's supposed to, but there's still this fear of what was said or how it was laid out. Again, I don't want you to focus on the fear part. You know, I want you to focus on the rebuilding part. Like, I understand. Let's see what the Three of Pentacles. Oh, yep. See? Damn, you guys. Come on. Like, I hate seeing the Eight of Swords in the middle of such a great reading. It's all right. We all get there. We all do it, right? Especially when you're dealing with your hopes and dreams and wishes and desires and everything that you know that you've always wanted. It's like somebody gets to start over. Somebody gets like a reboot. I know that this message is resonating with a couple of people that are watching right now. But I feel like there was sort of this breath of fresh air. but there's still a little bit of concern about it. And I want to say that the concern isn't really warranted. Like, I feel like because the Eight of Swords is irrational, like she's not actually in any kind of danger. There's nothing really that bad that's happening. It's all of the irrational fears from the conversations or from the news or from, like, you know, whatever. When I say news, I mean like whatever, the news that was said to them, not necessarily like the media news. I mean like whatever news was brought to you. It's helping you rebuild your life. Like, this is where I would tell, like, if this was a personal reading with somebody, I would look at someone and I would say, everything is really adding up to everything you've ever wanted and desired. And here you are trying to sabotage it by being in your head too much and thinking all of the worst. How am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? How am I going to, like, how is this going to work? How is this going to work? Like, that's just, yeah. So the King of Swords, an air sign, somebody who is very rational, very discerning, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini, right? They could easily get themselves wrapped up into an Eight of Swords. So you don't necessarily have to be an air sign for this to be you, right? With the King of Swords. The Wheel of Fortune and the Nine of Wands. I mean, literally, you guys, stop fighting. Stop fighting this shift. This shift is taking you to the Ten of Cups. The Nine of Wands is saying you don't have to fight this anymore. You don't have to fight for what you want anymore. It's right in front of you. It's happening as we speak. And if you're not seeing it happen as you know, if you're not seeing it happening in front of you, or you feel like it's taking too long, or there's some kind of irrational belief system that you have in your head that it's all going to fall apart, I feel like a shift in your mindset. That's what the Eight of Swords is saying. There has to be, because... And I've been saying this through the whole retrograde season when, you know, with these daily readings, when I've been able to get to them or been able to do them, whatever is happening in your mind, it's like, it's not real. It's a lie. You're lying to yourself. The fears of everything are much, much stronger right now than the reality of things. And because there's such a collective fear that life is going down the tubes really, really fast because everybody's getting sick. First of all, life isn't going down the tubes. It's not happening really, really fast. Everybody is not sick. We have to remember what the reality of things are, right? So we don't live in an illusion of happiness, but we actually get to that happiness. And you don't have to fight for that. So let's see. Ten of Cups. Okay. The Empress is at the bottom of the deck. And I love this Empress card because she's literally pregnant with the Earth. She's Mother Earth. The Knight of Pentacles and the Four of Cups on the Ten of Cups. You have to stop paying attention to the pace of things. The Knight of Pentacles and the Eight of Pentacles is the same type of energy. It's Virgo energy, Virgo full moon. And it's about not skipping the steps. It's about doing everything methodically, analytically, the way that you're supposed to do them, and allowing yourself to do it the right way. Take the steps forward. It's like, this is, and it came out on the Ten of Cups because everything that you've ever wanted is sitting in front of you right now, or is within your reach right now. If you rushed it, you could instantly ruin it, just like the past, right? Good things take time. The best things take the most time to get to you sometimes. And whatever that means for you, that could be a relationship, it could be a job, it could be your whole damn life. Like everything is starting to fall into place with your whole life. And even if it's not, then you need to see where the things that are falling out of place, right? 8 of Swords, the things that keep falling out of place, you have to see how you're sabotaging yourself into that stuff. And how this Mercury retrograde was supposed to teach you how to look at things in such a different way that you don't have to fight for that 10 of Cups anymore. It's made you realize, and see, here's the thing, the 4 of Cups and the Knight of Pentacles, I actually love that the 4 of Cups came out with the Knight of Pentacles, because I really want to say that you have to stop paying attention to the pace. You have to stop saying, why is it taking so long for me to be happy in life? Why are you not just trying to be happy right now with everything that you have in front of you? If you're making your life too difficult to be happy right now, that's not the world's fault. And it's not anybody else's fault either. I mean, I hate to be so harsh about it, but it's true. If you want to be miserable, you will be miserable. If you don't want to be miserable, you will. If you actually don't want, I mean, you can say the words, I don't want to be miserable, but still want to be miserable because you've always gotten attention by being miserable, or you've always, you know, people only connect with you or contact you when you're miserable or whatever, right? Like they're only that kind of thing. So by allowing yourself to be happy, by giving yourself permission to be happy, you can get everything that you want. Even in the midst of the hardest times of your life. Like even when you feel like your life is falling down around you, you can actually be happy and grateful and feel supported even during those times. That's what I learned, especially this week. I learned that as I roll my eyes. All right. So I love you guys. I'm also doing a members only live for mid-tier level and for the members and Patreon members. I'll send that information out. I was going to do it tomorrow, but I'm actually shifting it to Sunday because I've had to kind of even my schedule out a little bit more and not make it so heavy in places. So I am going to have the members only live on Sunday at, it'll be 3 p.m. Central, so 4 p.m. Eastern. And that is for like mid-tier level and up for members. And if you want to be a part of the Virgo full moon ritual, all levels of membership will have access to it. I love you guys. Have a really good Friday. And I'll try to be here this weekend for daily messages. I got to get back into the groove because this whole week just really threw me off. And man, I can't wait for Mercury to go direct. I don't know about you guys, but I am like spent. I am so spent. So have a wonderful Friday. I love you all.